Sprocket TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the next exciting episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney's Bureau of Justice. In the previous episode, we completed Day 2 of the investigation of the turnabout time traveler. Today we'll go into trial. If you're hyped for this episode, make sure to hit that like button. Your support is greatly appreciated to the channel. Now let us begin. This will be, will you please work? Now this will be the last investigation. Not investigation. The last day of the trial. So we're almost close to the finale, ladies and gentlemen. September 23rd, 8:50 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. So the one thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. I only hope I can get some testimony from him that will get to the heart of the matter. Mr. Wright. Good morning, Ellen. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the result of today's trial. Nevertheless,
don't tell me you're still thinking I'm going that route. Sorin is innocent. Get me found guilty. Take me instead.
Yo, did we ever did a cross-examination on her? I don't think so. Ellen, please, try and get a hold of yourself.
I believe in Sorin with all my heart. So how dare you doubt him? Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's going to be devastating for Ellen, isn't it?
We'll just have to do everything we can. That's the best we can do, you know? The trial is about to begin, Mr. Wright. Alright, let's go, Maya.
Yeah.
Alright then, last trial. Here we go now. This one's all for the money. September 23rd, 9 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 6. Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise. Oh yeah. Court is back in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt. One thing okay, so like I said, we downloaded the DLC. A few episodes ago, I questioned where's the DLC at, and then I looked into the options and I found it. So now we are the Tiger of the Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Let's see now. Where were we? In yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Dumas Gloomsbury with a second reception. Taking advantage of our collective shock, the defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim, namely that there was a third person present who struck the victim.
Objection!
Hey, don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third person, and further investigation has only proven her statement to be true. But I presume the defense intends to focus on proving the identity of the third person? Is that alright with you, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predict that the defense will most likely attempt to name Mr. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit. How did you? The driver during the accident that killed Miss Sprocket's sister was the victim. Therefore, Mr. Sprocket had a motive to murder Mr. Gloomsbury. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? Come now, Mr. Wright, did you really think the police would uncover this information? Congrats on getting in one, Mr. Edgeworth. Hold it. But
You're wrong! Sorin didn't do it! He's innocent!
Miss Wyatt, please!
He's innocent! I tell you!
Is he in the courtroom right now? What is this, Mr. Wright? I thought your claim about the existence of a third person came from the defendant. It did. This is just a minor hiccup. Did you not discuss your strategy for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright? Starting off on the wrong foot again is seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear that the defense is in disarray. Therefore, the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand. What? Very well. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Sprocket to the witness stand. So today's episode will be about Mr. Sprocket, Soren Sprocket's testimony. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Here we go again. And like I said in the previous episode before that, I think I figured out as to why he kept that journal and that so-called diary, as to why it's full of stated dates and here that. It's because I think is that he has a concussion problem or memory problem, that he needs to keep every single detail of what happened, what he did, what he eat, what he sleep. I don't know, making exaggeration claims, but this is what I think. He has a concussion, it's a serious head injury after that car accident, and that's why. That's what I think. We'll figure out why he's having that problem. There's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Soren Sprocket, Managing Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mr. Sprocket, please give your answers in words, not paper airplanes. Now then, Mr. Sprocket, please tell that doubting lawyer there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mr. Sprocket? Mr. Sprocket! We're really... Oh, never mind. Alright. You want me to talk about what happened when the crime occurred? In other words, after the first wedding reception? When Ellen and I were in the reception hall, right? Not even the power of the court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum. Oh, he's probably looking it up, right? He's just looking it up? I don't know, it's all in one day, so we'll see what happens. A day or two. I was stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall, and I collapsed to the floor. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumas was already... I don't know what to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense. Wait, just a minute here. You actually think Miss Wyatt killed the victim? That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen. This is unbelievable! How can you suspect your bride, the woman you love? Objection! The truth can be cruel. Miss Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say? Oh, crud. Her eyes are darkened.
No, I can't believe this. Soren, I thought that at least you would believe in me.
The best way now to show your love for your group is to admit your guilt and try to atone.
Soren.
Hold it! Look at what you did. Mr. Edward, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. And quit picking on the clearly distraught.
Yeah, that's so not cool, Mr. Edgeworth.
A court is where we seek the truth. And the truth is unyielding, even to the truly pitiful. Mr. Edgeworth, I find it distasteful to make a lady cry. To your honor?
So, what are you gonna do, Nick?
If the third person Ellen saw on the Vista deck was Soren, then we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in this testimony, but we have to push forward. Meaning, we have to press every single detail that we can think of. But yeah, today's episode, Soren Sprocket. Next episode, who knows what? Miss Ellen Wyatt or Soren or the butler. Stabbed by Dumas in the recessional and collapsed to the floor. What were you stabbed? Please tell me everything you can about when you got stabbed. After the reception, Ellen and I were enjoying a moment alone in the reception hall. Then Dumas appeared and stabbed me. He grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall. Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything at that time? I don't remember. After I was stabbed, I was immobilized by the pain. I see. Huh. Next thing I saw Ellen and the boss was on the beast deck.
Hold it!
Oh, that makes sense. The beast deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you really see them in the darkness? The moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Dumas was trying to push Ellen, the timekeeper, off the side. So you saw the defendant, about to be thrown off to the airship, sorry? That's right. It's such a desperate situation, it would only be natural for her to fight for her life. And the murder weapon was right there with her grasp. This isn't going well at all. I've got to do something fast. I knew Ellen was in danger. Like a groom you are. I understand that your bride was in danger, but were you really able to move with a stab wound to the gut? I was desperately trying to push the pain out of my mind. I see, so adrenaline kicked in and gave you strength. Is that right? I don't see much of anything in this statement I can refute. That's right. I almost passed out several times as I made my way to the visa deck. But when I got there, Dumas was over. Oh crud! Get back! 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 Okay, press.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mr. Sprocket, that by the time you got to the visa deck, the murder had already been committed? Yes. But the visa deck is just on the other side of the glass windows of the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away?
Objection!
Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? The only way to reach the deck is to go on the hold and take the lift. How much time would you even have? No matter how much one hurries, it will take at least 10 minutes. Cause the elevator, that's why. Well, that's unhelpful. But Soren have to have gotten there before the murder, or my claim won't stand. Do you have any ideas for me, Maya? We're not even there yet.
It's definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hold than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right?
Can't leave anything. Wait a minute. I think Maya's onto something here. I do not! The lack of certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold. I don't get it! The lack of certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold. What's the matter? Are you stumped already? No, I'm far from stumped, Mr. Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hold. You and your paper-thin bluffs. Mr. Sprocket's bloodstain on the lift proves he went through the hold. So what's possible proof could you have that he did not, in fact, go through there? You want proof? I got nothing. You can do this, Phoenix. There's gotta be proof that Soren didn't go through the hold. Well, Mr. Wright? Great. This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. If he did not go through the hold... Okay, so... if he was right there and those two are right there, the reason why he didn't go through the hold... This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. There's a blood stain on the inside wheel handle as if somebody gripped with a bloody hand. I got nothing. I really got nothing. What proof do we have? I got nothing. What am I supposed to press? Hold entry record. Pierce no Cody. This proves that Sprocket didn't go through the hold. The hold entry record? A record of the key cards used to access the airship hold. I think that's it. I think that could be it. I think that's it. That's really it. That's the only thing he cannot go through because you need the freaking hold.
Take that!
Yes! That's it. That's it. As anyone can see from the hold entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Soren Sprocket entering the hold. The bench asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Visa deck. A pterodactyl? You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright, but you can actually prove another route exists. Can I prove the existence of another route to the Visa deck, you ask? Okay, this is the part where I had to choose. Say yes or no. Huh. I mean, we could try to throw in that pterodactyl thing. That's the only thing I got. So we may have to use it. Can I prove an existence of another route to the Visa deck? Because what would explain the dumb drawing as to why would he see the pterodactyl? What is the pterodactyl? He is Sprocket Aviation, so then again, what exists of another route? Did he flew over there, or this elevator takes all the way to the top and he has to fly there? Yo, let me check it out. I feel like it's the dumb pterodactyl right there. I feel like it's the dumb pterodactyl part. Because, really, there's not much I can say. Let's check it out. Trial. Cross-examine first day, first option. Cross-examine. Fourth, hold entry second option. Yeah. There's not yet. There's nothing we can hold yet. Not yet, not yet. We got nothing. Well, now that I really think about it, I guess it's going to be hard to prove. But I can back down now. The trial will be over if I do. There's only one thing I can do at a time like this. I can prove it. What? Even if it's just a bluff, I have to present something. Anything that could prove the existence of a faster route to the Visa deck.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Show us how Mr. Sprocket got to the Visa deck.
Mr. Sprocket made the Visa deck through here. Where did... Oh, wait! That's right! That's right! They said that he must have flown out and get over there. Because there's no sign of shattered glass right there, so let's try this. If we can be exact for once.
Take that!
To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket... Hey, we're adding this to the freaking thumbnail right here. It doesn't matter, this is technically Sprocket's, Mr. Sprocket, Soren Sprocket's testimony, no matter what. Opened the escape hatch and made his way along the outside wall to the Visa deck. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? Like Superman, oh! You would have to be daring enough.
That would certainly be a much faster route to the Visa deck.
Objection!
Wrong voice. How disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you can muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get from the reception hall to the Visa deck. One slip and that's all it could take for Mr. Sprocket to plunge to his death. I have to agree, the defense claim is really stretching it.
I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitely say that he didn't go that way.
So that's where you're going with then? I take it?
Of course, Your Honor.
This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic book. Do you have some sort of logical explanation to share that would convince us for your claim?
I do.
Are you sure, Nick?
Kind of. Actually, I have nothing. So I'll just have to wing it somehow.
On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside?
My theory that he was able to get along the outside wall despite the danger is based on the power of love, the power of money, the power of authority. My theory that he was able to go along the outside wall despite the danger is based on the power of love, I'm guessing? Because love conquers all, as they say. Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. I spoiled myself with that freaking hint, but it's freaking the power of love. It's gotta be it. I knew it was gonna happen. To save the bride he loves, the groom risked his life and rushed to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the visa deck despite the danger, because of the power of love.
The power of love? That love is a source of strength that can help one overcome any obstacle. I think I can relate, thanks to my own long, happy marriage.
Wow, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection!
And there's the single Mr. Edgeworth.
The power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly viable of the court of law. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? I'm afraid not, Mr. Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love. You'll understand one day when you get... Which I won't.
Wow, he's gonna be living a single life.
Exactly what is so wrong with wishing to remain unwed?
Way to set him off, Your Honor.
Never mind all the unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime... Whoa! There was a huge propeller turning at full speed between the hatch and the visa deck. Even if a person were to go outside through the hatch,
You would get splattered.
they'd be blown away in an instant. Where does your power of love get you now, Mr. Wright? A huge spinning propeller, you say? In that case, I have to admit it does seem impossible.
Yeah, I got the idea. I should have known.
Nick, you can't make that kind of space in front of your client. The worst times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles, right?
Right. I feel like I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes.
What's wrong, Nick? Why are you gapping at me like a giant sunfish?
Thank you, Maya. You just helped me remember something really important.
There it is. There's that fearless smile I was looking for. Now give us a mind-blowing theory, just like you always do.
I have to turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past that huge propeller, I have to think about what would have made it possible for him to do so.
Your Honor? Mr. Wright only makes the ridiculous face when his back is pressed against the wall. Therefore, please do hurry and give your ruling before...
Mr. Edgeworth, it's still far too early to discount my theory.
What are you talking about? The airship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces.
But if we think a little more outside the box, I'm sure we could find a way he could have made it.
Stop trying to stop, Mr. Wright, and show us how it could have been even remotely possible if all... I must agree with Edgeworth.
Very well, Your Honor. There must have been a way. Some way that Soren could have moved along a wall and find a propeller.
Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would have made it possible?
This is how it would have been possible for Mr. Sprocket to get to the visa deck.
The airship wasn't flying. He got to the deck some other way. The propellers were broken.
What allowed Mr. Sprocket to go along the outside wall in spite of the propellers? It's the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime.
The location of the flying chapel? But wasn't it flying high in the sky?
No, Your Honor. I'm afraid it wasn't.
What? Then where was it?
At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but more to the ground.
What?
And if the airship wasn't flying, then that means the propellers weren't turning. Hey, look at that lead pencil go. Look at that go. In which case, it is a possibility he went through there. Mr. Sprocket could have gotten the visa deck along the outside wall. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? Oh, he punches it. I don't remember. Ow, he stabbed himself with his pencil, his lead pencil. That's gonna leave a mark.
Objection!
Even if the propellers weren't turning, it would have been far too risky to go that way.
Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, you're forgetting about the power of love.
Yes, the amazing power of love. Not this again. Very well, for the sake of argument, let's assume this so-called power of love made it possible for Mr. Sprocket to move along the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you climbed, Mr. Wright?
Well, I do not have any evidence that proves where the airship was at the time.
You can prove it, can't you?
Maya, can you think of anything we can use to prove?
Can't say I can. Oh, wait. Didn't somebody see something outside a window at the time of the crime? I think I remember someone saying as much.
Do I have a piece of evidence that shows what's outside the airship?
Well, what are you waiting for?
This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the crime. I mean, like I said, like 10 minutes ago in the video, something about we have to use Larry's drawing, because if what we see in there is actually Mr. Sprocket, then this could be what he saw.
Take that!
The piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder.
What kind of lousy drawing is that?
It's a drawing made by Larry Butts.
Ha! And what can you prove with that poor attempt at artistry?
Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns, so it must have been right around when the murder was being committed. Now, if I could direct the court's attention here, is that a pterodactyl?
Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to this Cretaceous period?
Objection!
We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not?
we did, and I have no intention of bringing up that argument again, but this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored on the ground.
And what makes you so sure?
I don't get it. That's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing.
Larry? Larry? Larry.
That's right. It was Mr. Butts, and we both know what he's like. He must have been seeing something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl.
I can't argue with you there.
Hold it!
Hey! We just one doggone second here. What kind of more do you guys take me for? I saw with my own eyes. A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you. I have the sharp eyes of an artist. Don't you believe me? No.
Nick! Nope.
Some friends you guys are. What about the judge? You believe me, right, Your Honor? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Bailiff, if you would. Come on, buddy, let's go. Why doesn't anybody believe me?
Well, he's gone. Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you.
Now then, you're saying that what Mr. Butt really saw bears some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder?
Yes, Your Honor. At least, I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. It had better. Anyway, if it doesn't, the whole argument is a bust.
If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was.
Yes, Your Honor. I want to know where this goes. Think, Phoenix. What could that pterodactyl? Oh! Can we move this dumb thing? Okay, so core record. Freaking the cabin. If Larry was right here in this cabin, so that would make him somewhere. Okay, the beast. So the river right here. The cabin has to be here. And what would make a pterodactyl shape? Would it be the freaking broken thing right there in the corner? The broken ship? For some reason, I remember someone saying about that. Something that would make it. Okay, so the propellers are right there. If he were to make his way through there, then two things could have been. It could definitely be this. It could definitely be this thing. It could be definitely this. That's what I'm getting at. Because he has to look at the window towards something. Yeah, it could be this. Double check, double check, double check. There he's drawing. The sign. Yeah, it's gotta be that. Yeah, it's that. Okay.
Take that!
Hold up. Let me just fix this. There you go. Please take a good look at the sign.
The sign? It appears to have been broken and then repaired. Well, what does this sign have to do with the pterodactyl?
Please focus on the part of the sign. Huh, I didn't see that. I thought I was going for the ship.
The part that broke off and got attached? What about it?
How about if we turn it like this?
Oh, that shape! It's a pterodactyl in the drawing!
Huh, I didn't see it. I was thinking it was the boat. What Mr. Butts actually saw was the chunk as it was being blown through the air by wind.
What?
On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock, but it's hard to imagine that the sign would make it up as high as the airship would fly. That means the flying shuttle must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket?
Objection!
That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you can pop culture junkie. There's an all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. Why don't we return to reality now?
What do you mean, too much conjecture?
Even if the airship wasn't flying that alone, doesn't prove the witness went along the wall. True, even now it's no more than a possibility.
Then how do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the visa deck, Mr. Edgeworth?
I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this whole entry record.
What about it? I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on here anywhere.
Don't you remember? In yesterday's session we had a very similar kind of argument.
Did we?
Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talk about Larry Butts using the defendant's key card to enter the hold.
Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we?
In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's card. Ah! Mr. Sprocket? You entered the hall with Mr. Nakoti, didn't you?
I did. What? Why didn't you tell us in the first place? Pierce is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him.
Mr. Sprocket, I asked that you would testify in greater detail about your movements that night.
I think we'll end today's episode right here. If we're gonna go more into detail of his freaking testimony. If you're today, make sure that like button, comment, performance. If you're new, if you're like to see, subscribe, and the show XTV, and I'm signing out.